Crypto markets are a self-similar replicating fractal, and it is a fractal in bull mode. How do I know this? I'm going to show you what that pattern is. It follows it, so I'm not even going to, you can see what we're looking at, but before, let me just show you the pattern here. You've got the boring period, we go parabolic, we crash, and then we enter the boring period. The boring period is a magnitude higher, order of magnitude higher than the previous boring period. Here we're at, 3 cents, and here we're at, whatever, 20 cents, right? Order of magnitude higher, and also previous high. So look at what we're looking at here. You see that pattern? This is stellar, XLM. You can see the date down here. In 2017, we had this. Now watch, I just move this up a little bit. I don't know exactly where to put it, but let's try this. Does that look similar? This one, let me see here. Oh, you know what? It'll really look good if we put it right there. Looks even better. So this is the thing about a fractal is it follows a similar pattern, but it's never the same, and it's completely unpredictable in the short run. And, that's what's weird about a fractal. But again, you see the boring period, right? And then you go parabolic, we crash, and it goes into another boring period. This boring period being much longer than the 2017. The Stellar had 2 in 1 year, right? Let's look at Bitcoin. What are we looking at here? Oh, a boring period, parabolic, crash, boring period. And you're like, oh yeah, that's January 2018. No, it's not. That's 2014. I take this same time frame and I slide up to present day. And what do we see again? The boring period, followed by parabolic crash, and then another boring period. Again, order of magnitude higher. Here we're settling at 5. The previous boring period, this should actually be a little longer. It was actually boring at around 3 to 500. This last boring period. So maybe my scale, I'm trying to show you by using the same exact scale. Again, it's a fractal. You can't pin the thing down. I can't tell you, the market could go up by 1,000 next month or down by $1,000. Bitcoin's price could move by 20% in a short amount of time and still remain in the fractal. It could move in either direction. But here's the point. The point is we know this pattern goes on. And what we do know is that the bull is running. Look at this move. Here's the thing, and I tried to, again, you can't pin down a fractal. Like, this move, and then I'm like, well, the percentage gain, right? So Bitcoin went from 4,000 to 8, right? It doubled in this many days. That's a strong move. And the bell is rung for the bull to start running again with a strong move. Like that, I've seen that repeated. But at the same time, look at this move, right? Right here. When it crashed, was at 7, and a few days later, we're at, I can't seem to get at almost 12. Well, how do you know that wasn't the bull running? And this is where it becomes more art than science. As somebody who's in it, I know that right here I'm having a bunch of friends call me, how do you buy, right? And then it crashes this much. So it crashes from 20 to 7. This bounce doesn't feel the same, right? It doesn't feel the same as here, where now my brother's calling me to tell me how stupid I am, right? And then it goes up 100%, and it's not in the news. I mean, it did finally get in the news, but point being, the bell is rung, and we're now in the going parabolic phase. And what does that mean? So the last boring low was at 500. This one was at about 6,000. Let's call it 5 to have simple math. The next boring period is probably at 50,000. Now, doesn't, again, you can't pin down a fractal, but 50,000 as a note for yourself in this move, the coming move. And what is the high? Again, an order of magnitude higher than the 20. So I don't know, maybe it goes to 200,000, but keep in mind about these highs. And I'm going to tell you how to be very careful right here, because this all sounds great. Oh, we're early, it just started. Hold on to your seatbelt, and all you stupid traders. I'm not even going to get into how stupid traders are or trading is. What I'm going to talk about is, what is the real high? Oh, Bitcoin at 20,000. It was like, it didn't even hit 20, and it was there for about an hour. Like, really, but there was some time. I mean, so let's say from here, December 6th to January, so for about a month, you might have been able to sell it at 14,000. That's it. And there was good volume up here, but that's a short amount of time if you're a seller. But if you look at right here, okay, look at this. What is this? November 12th. Now let's just put it, actually, I picked a low. On November 8th, you could have paid $7,000. And this is where, oh, well, this is if you're a trader, great. Yeah, well, I want to make big money. I'm not just buy it at 7 and sell it at 14. Yeah, really? Okay, mister, remember how much time you had? So anyways, 7, and meanwhile, how many years later? 17, almost 2 years later, you could have bought it at half of this price. So when the bull starts running, it's pretty quick that we get to a point where it's like, you're better off waiting for the next low. Otherwise, you're playing with fire with this shit. So the point is, hopefully you're already positioned, and I'm going to make a video showing my portfolio recommendation. But you should be positioned, and if you're not getting in soon, you're, when the next low comes, it's like, in other words, we could go to 200,000. The other thing about the high, what I was saying is, so here, the high was 20,000. It wasn't really 20, it was 14. You only had a month. What is a high that you can recognize and really trade at is not as high as the high. So the high that goes on CNBC, the day that CNBC is showing you how to buy, and it's Bitcoin's at $1 million, like, that might have lasted for 1 second, right? In other words, it could go that high. But realistically, again, as a line in the sand, you could say 200,000. But even that's not a tradable. I listen. I'm targeting 50 as the next crash level, 50,000. Once you get over 100, you're in dangerous territory to be owning it. But these things, but still, you can wait. The time value of money on this last crash, that's 2 years' time that you could have bought in even here. Let's say at 6,000. So when did it cross 6,000? October 27. So if the bull started here, not even halfway through, it's like, it's almost too late to get in. You're better off waiting for the next crash. Now, that doesn't mean start going crazy this minute, and a fractal cannot be pinned, and the fact that I'm making this video means that this is not exactly what's going to happen, okay? Something has to be wrong. Otherwise, it's not a fractal. But anyways, the bull's running. I'm sorry. And I hope you're positioned at this point, and stay tuned. I will keep you posted, and I'm going to make a bunch of videos right now.